So I am excited about both Chicago Manual Style and AP and what they're doing with being sensitive to the evolution of language and how they're evolving. And the singular they, of course, is the biggest change, but there have been some others around capitalization and hyphens and those sorts of things. And I think that every year it is exciting to me that ACES is the place where both of those style guides come to meet their public, to hear what the issues and concerns and the struggles that editors who use these guides are grappling with, and that this is where they make their announcements about what they're changing and how they're evolving. And it makes me happy that they both come here. And in fact, a friend of mine tweeted out last night this photo of both the Chicago Manual Style person and the AP Style Guide person, and they were busy chit-chatting and shaking hands and having a good time. So it's like, okay, we can all be one because we all love our language together.
Well, I'm not 100% fully versant in all of the changes, but I like to see style guides reflecting the usage of the language. I like to see styles being updated with usage. It's keeping current. One of the most exciting things I started realizing when I came to ACES conference is that dictionaries follow usage, not what it should be always and forever, and that the style guides have a lot more flexibility than we realize. I mean, even Carol Soller talks about how, you don't have to slavishly follow the serial comma. If it is fine, as long as it's in the service of the reader and it makes sense. And I love that. I love that it's not right versus wrong. There's gray area. There's room for interpretation and wiggle room to be a good editor. And so I embrace the changes. I fought the singular they for a long time. I thought I was fighting the good fight. Like, no, this is terrible. And then when some style guides started accepting it, I just went, you know what? It does serve a purpose. This is a good thing. I'd like to see these changes. I'm all for them. It may take a little adjustment in the brain to remember the lowercase internet, but personal growth is good.
So, really excited that that AP and Chicago have both come around on the singular they, but with the caveat that AP, so yesterday at the AP session, Megan had actually asked the question about their style guideline that now says if someone prefers a pronoun outside of he, she, or they, that they won't adhere to it, like ze or they or whatever a person prefers as their pronoun. And they said, well, we wouldn't adhere to that because we don't think that it's familiar enough to the greater audience, so we would either just use they, or more likely we'd write around it, which I don't agree with, because I think it's not being respectful to a person. And someone else also made this point last night, that it's sort of like saying, hey, my name is Michelle, call me Michelle, but then AP comes around and is like, well, actually, we're going to call you Jane because our rule is to just, stick to these three names. So that was kind of a bummer, and I think Chicago's rule on that was that they were only using they when gender was unknown.
They were using they as personal preferred,
but
also
not
a right around it caveat, basically.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I think the other various style guidelines, I think we're all really into. I can't think of the other. What were the other big ones?
Avocado toast.
Avocado toast.
We're so into avocado toast.
Kimchi with an I instead of two E's. Thank God.
Yeah.
What was the other big one? Oh, no hyphen in email. Which
come on.
Obviously, that's great.
Esports. No hyphen in esports looks crazy.
It looks a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what was the other? Were there other big Chicago?
Not that I can. I mean, there were, but not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think the pronoun one is the big one, and I think we're really excited to see them catching up to the language that people use every day. And I think we've been using the singular they for years now and have been really big proponents of it. We love themself as a singular, reflexive, personal pronoun. But I think that it's tough to see them not sort of respecting the choices that people want to make.
Not go all the
sometimes.
way.
Yeah.
I think it's so great that their updated gender guidelines, make sure to advise people not to describe things in terms of a binary.
Yeah.
But I feel like
and not to assume masculine language.
Yeah. it's like they almost made it all the way, but then just stopped.
Yeah, and I think for us, like, they're saying that a lot of audiences don't understand those pronouns and see how they work, but like for us at BuzzFeed, like, we assume that our readers are smart and they're paying attention to this stuff. And if they don't know this stuff, we should be teaching them. We should be teaching them. It's like very easy to add a little caveat explaining this is this person's preferred personal pronoun. And I think readers really appreciate that, and they don't see it as condescending. They see it as, okay, we're learning something new. And to see the older style guides sort of catching up with that, but not quite going all the way, like Emmy said, is it's heartening, but also a little frustrating. Language is about being inclusive and welcoming everyone in. And I think that's what we really aim for, and it's nice to see AP in Chicago sort of finally getting further on the path to that.